Before we dive into the blood-soaked madness of this 88 film slasher classic collection review, a quick heads up for listeners and viewers alike. These episodes come straight from the podcast Under the Stairs archives, recorded before the launch of the YouTube channel and long before video podcasts became part of the show. These reviews were originally crafted purely for audio. So if the production feels a little rougher around the edges or a little more stripped back than current episodes, that's because you're hearing the show in its earlier form, raw, passionate, and let's be honest, a little waffly at times. Whether you're revisiting these reviews or discovering them for the first time, please sit back and relax and enjoy this trip through the golden age of mass killers, inventive gore, and VH era nightmares. This podcast is not safe for work and will feature movie spoilers. It will feature scenes described of a graphic nature. It will contain language which most listeners may find offensive. Welcome to the podcast Under the Stairs. Hi everyone and welcome to the podcast Under the Stairs. This is your 88 films slasher classic collection. We are looking at a little disc number 17. It's Sleepaway Camp to Unhappy Campers. I'm your host Duncan. Welcome to the show. That's right, disc number 17. So this one and the next slasher classic episode we'll be looking at two from the Sleepaway Camp franchise. We'll be looking at part 2 in this one, and in 3 weeks time we will be looking at part 3 as well. So yeah, we're going to get into some more info on that one after the first break, but as always, let me say welcome to the end of the week. Yay, we made it. All of us made it. Some of us lost limbs, but I didn't. I've been hard at work grafting what seems like impossible task of trying to get 15 podcasters over 5 separate recordings, collaborating together and then collating those collaborations into what would be a listenable 2-part roundtable. So yeah, if that sounds like your idea of fun, you may or may not be a podcaster. If that sounds like your idea of hell, welcome to my world, bitches. So yeah, I'm doing that at the moment, but it's been a great week. We kicked it off on Monday with 1998 as part of the Summer Teapot's Top 10 Series 90s edition. Good fun all round. And then we sprung it into life, into a little bit of Action Jackson on Thursday. Now, I've been told that episode took some time for SoundCloud to process. No idea why. I'm going to blame my now infinitely shitty Wi-Fi connection in my new house for that reason. So that episode may have taken an extra day to come out, but I can assure you it was posted on Thursday. So yeah, that one went out and it covered my 31 movies that I'll be covering in October, the 31 of October from Podcast Under the Stairs. More information on what we're doing with that will be coming up over the next week or so in advance of October. And then today you've got your slasher classic episode rounding out our week. What is happening next week, I hear you cry? Well, next week is going to be a clusterfuck of awesomeness as we close out with the very final episode of the Summer Teapot's Top 10 Series 90s edition. It's 1999, have 10 movies, 3 great guest hosts, and yeah, a lot of fun and laughter shall ensue. 1999 was maybe my favourite recording out of the whole lot to do. It was just a ton of fun and everything just flowed really, really well, and hopefully you enjoy the work we put in on that episode. On Thursday we are bringing Movie Club back to you, ladies and gents, bringing it live and bringing it loud as we ask you to submit reviews by Wednesday for Tokyo Gore Police. And also, as part of that submission of reviews, give it a Netflix grade and pair it with another movie that exists in the world, and tell us why you paired it with that movie. Couldn't be any easier. So you have them up until Wednesday to get that done, so please do not delay, get them in. Your input makes those segments continue on from month to month to month. And then we will be bringing you a little bit of the Arrow video assortment at the end of next week, a week today, where we do Hell Comes to Frogtown, a little Rowdy Roddy Piper nonsense for you all out there. So very much looking forward to covering that one as well. Okay, right, let's do this. We're going to take a very short break just now. You're going to hear promos for shows that I love. You're going to hear the trailer for Sleepaway Camp 2, Unhappy Campers, and when we return, it's disc number 17 of the 88 Films Slasher Classics collection. All that and more coming right up, right after this.
Hello, this is The Doom Show. Keep on keeping on and keep on trucking, America. We don't listen to our feedback because we don't get any.
The truth hurts.
I just alienated the two people that give us constant feedback. Sorry, guys.
That's gotta go. That's gotta go in there.
So on the show, we talk about giallo movies and slasher movies and cult movies. Sometimes we even talk about Cameron Mitchell and his movies. I am Richard. Who are you?
I'm Brad, the guy that's not Richard, or Jeffrey, or Simon.
That's right, we have 4 people, and we always talk at once, except to each other.
Jeffrey lives up north. Simon lives across the world. Richard lives in Penis, Alabama.
Hello, This is the Doom Show is a proud member of the Legion Podcast Network. Check out the other shows on legionpodcast.com. You can check out more Hello, This is the Doom Show at hellodoomshow.podomatic.com or at doomedmoviethon.com.
Check for our Amazon exclusive Hello, This is the Doom Show cookbook.
Do you like hot dogs?
We got them.
Do you like mac and cheese?
We got it.
Do you like cheddar?
We have it.
Actually, we don't.
No cheddar.
Just Colby. Colby Jack.
Hello, this is the Doom Show. We never gave up on you because you never gave up on us.
Wow.
Get ready for gore galore.
There used to be this camp about 60 miles from here. Camp Arawak. All these kids started getting killed. Well, it ended up that the killer was the shy 14-year-old girl that everybody picked on. Except she wasn't...
Baby, you're supposed to be in the cabin. Let's go.
Wait, what happened to the killer?
Whatever happened to the good kids in the world?
Oh, don't talk like that, Uncle John. There's lots of good kids. We just have to weed out the bad.
Remember, ladies, nice girls don't have to show it off.
Where's Phoebe?
I had to send her home. I found her doing things with the boys last night that she had no business doing. I know the rest of you are nice young ladies and you won't get into any trouble.
Let this be a lesson to you. Say no to drugs.
Camp Rolling Hills is the best. Oh, I'm a happy camper. I love the summer sun. I love the trees and forests. I'm always having fun. I don't like being the wicked witch of the West.
Hey,
But I know what happens when things get out of control.
you're gonna tell.
I'm a happy camper. I love the clear the sky. And with the grace of God, I'll camp until I die.
Good night, campers.
Sleepaway Camp 2. Sign up and become a dismember. Warehouse ship date November 16.
And welcome back. So you've just heard the trailer for disc number 17 of the Slasher Classic Collection from 88 Films. This is Sleepaway Camp 2, aka Unhappy Campers. According to the website, it says the following. Back in the heyday of horror franchises, one little slasher classic changed the gore game entirely. 1988's body count bonanza Sleepaway Camp 2 Unhappy Campers. Long before Wes Craven's masterful Scream from 1996 turned the slice and dice trend on its head with its sense of pastiche and postmodern references, Sleepaway Camp 2 was nodding its noggin towards everything from A Nightmare on Elm Street to Texas Chainsaw Massacre with genre in-jokes galore. In this subtly satirical sequel to the 1983 gender-bending original flick, the great Pamela Springsteen, sister of Bruce, headlines as the puritanical Angela Johnson, returning to murderous form as a summer camp counsellor who can't wait to drill, drown and destroy an entire backwood full of frisky teenagers and stuffy colleagues. With some winning 80s mullets, a likeable final girl in the beautiful Renee Estevez of Intruder fame, and guts to the ground gruesome special effects, Sleepaway Camp 2 is one of the finest fear follow-ups of all time. Finally released in all of his HD horror, 88 Films is proud to present one of the defining VHS hits of the era. The special features on this one are Teenage Wasteland, slasher expert Justin Kerswell on the Sleepaway Camp films, the original trailer, Sleepaway Camp 3 trailer, 88 Films trailer reel, and the reversible sleeve featuring alternative UK VHS artwork. In the booklet, for those that got the booklet, you get an interview with Michael Simpson. The technical specs on the disc: it's region locked to region B, the picture format is HD 1080p 185.1, the audio format is LPCM mono, the language is English, certification is 18, and the movie is about an hour and 20 long. So I covered this movie, I want to say last year when we did the Russian Roulette franchise retro on Sleepaway Camp, and it was maybe my favourite of the whole lot, and if it wasn't, it was right up there beside it. I think back then I scored this movie a 5, and I'll just let you know straight away, it's retaining its 5 status. I fucking love this movie. It is wonderfully campy. I mean, this is maybe one of the most campy 80s slasher movies I have ever seen. And what I really like about it is how much they know that's the case and how much they just play into that really from the start. The body count is ridiculous in this movie, and whilst there isn't like some full-on shot kind of death sequences in here, you do get a couple. The special effects that they are doing are surprisingly well done. The blood is the right shade of red, which always gets a smile from me when any movie can dare to try and do that right. But the kind of way things are set out at times is menacingly gruesome. There's a particular scene where his sister awakes to a charred kind of skeleton over her, only to find that was her sister and she's about to get the same fate. Angela's great in this one. She's gone full crazy by this point, and worked her way back into being a camp counsellor. Whoever decided that was a good idea fucked up big time. But you get like a ton of really cool effects in this movie. You get a ton of really kind of charming performances. And the movie wouldn't really work if you didn't really have like the kind of next iteration of what Angela would become. Felissa Rose, I mean, expertly plays Angela in the original Sleepaway Camp, and I mean, it would be very difficult to change actresses and have that kind of feel like on some level there is a level of continuity that works. And I'm maybe giving them too much credit here, but the fact that she is almost kind of Norman Bates in Psycho 2 in this one, in that she's come out and it's a bit more of a campier affair, and there's a lot of tongue-in-cheek references, and she genuinely thinks she's getting better, and what she's doing is perfectly fine. She does not see any moral ambiguity in any of the horrible actions she carries out here. When you fling on top of that, from what the biog was saying about specific in-meta references to other horror, I mean, it is in here. I will say that anyone claiming that this movie is a precursor to Scream is maybe stretching the truth a little bit. I think this movie's just playing into the fact that they know for certain that not a lot of people saw Sleepaway Camp. And those that are kind of trending their way into Sleepaway Camp 2 are probably slasher fans, and if so, these jokes are for them, rather than Wes Craven, which, I mean, Wes Craven put a ton of those references in there anyway for horror fans, but, I mean, the movie was heavily meta, whereas Sleepaway Camp is kind of transitionally meta. There we go, we'll just make that up. We're going along here. It's used in a way to transition sequences as opposed to being the crux of the way you survive this movie is by being a horror fan, which is certainly where Scream leans into, and that is the genius of the Kevin Williamson Wes Craven duo on that project. But ultimately, what Sleepaway Camp does well, what it succeeds in, is being a sequel which is not completely ebbing the original. It understands that as an audience we want to see camp counselors die, we want to see maybe kids die in gruesome ways like the first movie did, and it kind of leans into that in a way which I get behind. It's shot surprisingly well, the special effects are done relatively well as well, because it doesn't really show you like gruesome death on screen, rather the camera pans away and you see the after effect. It gets awards for best fake tongue in a movie. I've not seen a tongue like that in a while. In the sequence you will see it when it arrives. And it also has, a bevy of boobs and kind of really, really campy one-liners, which I kind of get behind in a movie like this. It has a surprisingly fun score as well, which has all this kind of late 80s kind of cock rock stuff playing in the background, which is kind of cool. I enjoy that. In terms of the special features, I mean, this is almost worth purchasing for Teenage Wasteland's slasher expert Justin Kerswell, talking about the Sleepaway Camp films. I own Kerswell's book. It's a great book. And hearing him just get into a bit of the nitty gritty on the Sleepaway Camp films is fun in itself. So yeah, I like kind of checking out that, and like I say, it's probably worth buying it for that alone. You can pick this one up fairly inexpensively now. I think second hand you can get it for under a £5. I think in some shops and sales you can get it for under a £10. I mean, it's worth collecting anyway. I don't own the Scream Factory version, so I don't know if the Scream Factory version is much better, but the picture format in this one looks great, it sounds great, so they've done their work in there. And I mean, one of the biggest selling points for this movie is an hour and 20 minutes. How can you fucking argue with that? Gets in, gets out, has done its job. I am thankful, and that's all I'm going to say about that. Sleepaway Camp 2 is fun as fuck. It gets 5 stars from me, which is scoring really high, and it is 100% most definitely a slasher movie, which makes me smile, because those are so few and far between in the Slasher Classics collection. Right, I'm going to take my final break. When I come back, I'm closing out the show, and I'm doing it right after this. And you've been listening to the podcast Under the Stairs. We've been looking at 88 Films Slasher Classics Collection. This was disc number 17. It was Sleepaway Camp 2 Unhappy Campers. Hopefully you enjoyed revisiting that movie as much as I enjoyed that movie. Right, where do we go next? Well, we're doing the third instalment of the Sleepaway Camp quadrology. I think it's 4 parts. I think they tried to get a 5th one, but it's still up in the air. The third one is called Sleepaway Camp 3, Teenage Wasteland. We'll be doing it in 3 weeks' time. As always, I like to give you a little bit of a heads up as to what the website says. It says, the death and destruction continues in 1989's darkly comedic and thoroughly demented sequel Sleepaway Camp 3 Unhappy Campers. Once again returning as the righteous Angela Johnson, star Pamela Springsteen just cannot seem to keep away from summer camp carnage, this time going undercover as a teen refugee seeking some solace and understanding from a pleasant old backwood retreat. Alas, when she finds some sexed up teens and a party happy adult, her sense of virginal duty is called into action as she begins tidying up the trash, using everything from a lawnmower to a firecracker to a gun. Our wisecracking anti-heroine soon loses count of the corpses, although a final homage to the most dangerous game gives her last survivors a sporting shot at making it out of the woods alive. Released at the tail end of the slice and dice terror trope movement and co-starring the great Michael J. Pollard of Bonnie and Clyde, Sleepaway Camp 3 is pure 80s mayhem and one of the most malevolent macabre movies ever unleashed. Finally carving its way back onto UK shelves, this is the HD horror sequel you've all been waiting for. The special features for this one is Unhappy Campers, interview with academic Michael Coven, deleted scenes, original trailer, Sleepaway Camp 2 trailer, an 88 Films reel trailer, and reversible sleeve featuring the original poster artwork. This movie is region locked to region B. The picture format is 1080p 1851. Audio format is LPCM mono. English language 18 certificate. This one is an hour and 19 minutes long, and if memory serves was shot back to back with part 2. So yeah, that's good. I like a bit of that where they're just like, fuck it, let's just do movies, and if we'll make our money some way, somehow we can get these ones out. So that is coming in 3 weeks' time for you. There's a multitude of ways to check out podcasts Under the Stairs as always as they come across, and check us out on Apple Podcasts. Subscribe to the feed, that way you get the shows as and when they drop, and leave us a rating and a review. It's the best way to support us on that platform. You can also check us out on Stitcher Smart Radio, SoundCloud, Google Play, TuneIn, and of course Spotify. Visit our website, it's teapotscast.com. Buy merch like posters and pins from our merch page, teapotscast.bigcartel.com. You can visit our Facebook group page, interact with other listeners chatting about horror in the show at facebook.com/groups/teapotscast. Alternatively, if you only want to know when the shows are dropping or occasionally check out a live stream a Thursday on Facebook, that would be facebook.com/teapotscast. You can interact with myself and the Baz on the twin prongs of social media sexiness, Instagram and Twitter. Both can be followed at teapotscast. Visit us on the Flick Chat app. It's social media for podcasters and listeners. Not only can you listen to the show directly through it, but you can engage with us on our many message posts there. It's free to download on both Android and on iOS. Just search for Flick Chat, create yourself a profile, and join yourself to our page by join by code the podcast Under the Stairs, all one word, all lowercase. Couldn't be any easier. The links are also in the show notes. When the conversation finishes on the end of these episodes, they continue right over on the Flick Chat app. So don't delay, sign up today. The podcast Under the Stairs will return to you tomorrow with a 4-hour bonanza, closing out the Summer Teapots Top 10 Series 90s edition, looking at 1999, 10 movies, 3 guests. You guessed it, it's going to be fun. It'll round out our official list of 20 going into the round tables coming up in just over a week's time. But until then, wherever you are, what the time zone is and whatever you're up to in this big bad world of ours, please take care of yourselves out there. This is Duncan McLeish broadcasting live from Under the Stairs, and I am signing off.